Hey y'all, welcome to Gracefully Living podcast where we embrace life challenges with faith, purpose, and a whole lot of grace. Because grace isn't just a gift, it is a lifestyle. I'm your host, Eunice Adai. So today, how's everybody's doing? Today is we're talking about tested but not defeated. When your faith applies to what you're going through. And we're going to go to the book of Job, chapter 1 and 2. And we all know the story. I'm just going to give a brief story about Job. Job was a man that feared the Lord. This man, all he did was aligned himself with the word of God, make sure that he was doing what God had called him to do. And above it all, this man continued to serve God. This man was a rich man, right? So the Bible said that he was a rich man. He was the rich man, I think in the East, if I'm not mistaken. And he had children, right? But the main part of this story was the fact that Job got tested. So let me backtrack a little bit. So Job in this case was a man who, like I said, who God was boastful about, if that makes sense, like who God literally loved, right? So the Bible said that the angels one great day, the angels went to God and they were trying to let God know whatever was happening, all that stuff like that. And the Bible said that Satan was in the midst of them. Satan came and God asked him, have you considered my good and faithful servant? And he said, yes, I have. Like, the only reason why this man is loyal to you, the only reason why this man fears you is because you put a hedge of protection over him. That's one thing that literally stood out to me. That no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what's happening, the hedge of protection is upon your life. Like the devil cannot take your life. The devil can do whatever it is that he wants to do around you, touch your skin, but he cannot take your life. He do not have the power to take your life. And the Bible said that Job was protected by God. And even Satan mentioned it in the Bible. He literally said, you put the hedge of protection on Job because he fears you. That's why you see this man is doing what he's doing. And God gave him the go ahead. He said, go ahead, do whatever it is that you want to do. But in God's heart, God knew that, okay, this man is my servant. Like this man would not fall. This man, I put my neck on chopping board for this man. I would say, in our English, in our African language. But even in the midst, the Bible said that after God gave the go ahead, right? The Bible says that when God gave the go ahead to the devil, the devil came after his property. The devil came after his wealth. The devil came after including his children. And then the Bible said that when the last person came and said, your children are all gone, the Bible said that Job ripped his clothes. And this and I was literally studying the meaning for what Job did, like what was the significance behind what he did, right? Job literally ripped his clothes, and this represented deep sorrow. This represented that his heart was broken because his children were all dead. Job was in pain. Job was in grief. Job was in sorrow. This represented he ripping up his clothes and he what's it called, putting ashes on him. Job's heart was broken. And that's most of the time, some of us, the devil will hit us from different sides and everything like that. We don't know what to do. Sometimes we will turn away from God. Sometimes we will reap so much that we will lose ourselves in that grief. We will lose ourselves. But one thing that stood out to me was the Bible said that Job said, the Lord gives and the Lord takes. Understanding that no matter what the situation is, my faith must remain in God. My faith must stay in God. I am not going to back down now. I know that the God that I serve, He gave me all these things. He made me to be able to access all this wealth. He gave me the wisdom to be able to make money, to make wealth, to maintain whatever it is that I have, including my children. But now that He has taken it away from me, I am not going to curse God. I am not going to give up on God because my faith depends on Him. My faith is in Him and not the things around me. And not the things around me. And like I said, the shaven head symbolizes a sign of mourning. He shaved his hair on his head. He shaved his hair on his head and he ripped his clothes. Job fell to the ground to worship God. Even in the midst of what he was going through, he did not forget that God still remains God. He did not forget that God is a sovereign God. He did not forget that the one that gave him all these things have not taken it away. He did not say, I'm not, God is wicked. I'm not. And that's the thing. That's what we always do. Whenever things hit us, we don't understand that sometimes we need to ask ourselves, is this a test or is this a temptation? We have to know the two. But Job understand that even though I am tested, even though all these things that were given to me have not been taken away, my faith still remain in you. I am not going to be defeated. I am not going to allow myself to let these material things take my focus from on God. My focus remain on Him alone. On Him alone. In the midst of it, Job chose to worship. What are you choosing to do in the midst of trials and tribulation? What are you choosing to do in the midst of temptation, in the midst of your pain, your sorrow? What are you choosing to do? One of the spiritual weapon is praise, is worship, prayer. Job worshiped God. He said, God, you give me all these things. I am not, he made God to understand that I was not worshiping you because of these things. I am worshiping you, or I worship you, or I serve you because of you, God. Because I know for a fact that you that give, you are going to give it back to me. You that gave me these material things, make me to be well known, make me to be the head of this and head of that, make me to be one of the richest in the east or in the west or in the south or in the north. You, God, will bring those things back. He understood that the devil is an accuser. The devil, every little moment you give him, every little time you give the devil, he's going to accuse you. He's waiting to accuse you. The devil, Job know that. But Job said, I am not backing down. Even though my children are gone, I am still going to serve you because you are the one that gave me them. And now you choose to take them back. Even in a better place now. What are you doing in a time of temptation, in a time of testing? Tested, but not defeated. And even the Bible said that Job again, the Bible said that the devil went back to God, and God asked him, have you considered? Have you considered? God asked the question to the devil because he wanted the devil to go and deliberately examine Job and see if he can find himself in Job. That's another point. Is the devil finding himself in you? God literally told the devil, have you considered my good and faithful servant Job? Have you considered my good and faithful servant Job? Have you considered him? Which means, have you found yourself in him? Is there anything in him that represents you? The devil said, oh, if because you have your protection upon him, but let me touch his flesh. God said, okay, you can go ahead, but make sure do not take his life. That's the thing. We think that the enemy has that much power. Sometimes we give the enemy that much power over our lives, but we don't understand that the protection of God is upon us, that no matter what, the devil cannot take away our life. This life that you see, God was the one that gave us this life. So the devil has no power, no authority over what God has given us. Over what God has given us. Over what God has given us. No matter what it is, do not, I repeat, do not give up on God. Do not let the enemy fool you to give up on God. Yes, the testing may come. Yes, and trials may come. Tribulation may come. The Bible said that I will be with you in the midst of trials and tribulation. I will be with you in the waters. I will be with you. Do not forget that God continues to be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Even in those moments, even in those trials and tribulation, even in those times that it is hard to even lift up your voice and say, God, thank you. Understand that your faith supposed to remain in God. Your faith supposed to stay in God. Job's faith remained in God. That's why he worshipped God with all of him. He literally ripped his clothes. He ripped his clothes. Made God to understand that I am broken. I am in need. My children are gone. Everything that you have given me is gone. God, but I will still remain in you. My faith still remain in you, and I will continue to worship you. Job worshiped the King of Kings. He worshiped the Lord of Lords. He continued to worship God in the midst of those times, of those hard times. What are you choosing to do in the midst of your sorrow, in the midst of your grief? What are you choosing to do? Do not back down. Do not be defeated. Do not give up on God, because God knows what he's doing with your life. He's boasting about you in heaven. He's boasting about your works in heaven. He's boasting about his child that he's placed on this earth to glorify. He's boasting about you. Do not give up on God. Let your faith remain in him. Thank you so much for watching today. And I pray that God continue to mold your faith. God continue to give you the strength to increase your faith in him. And trust me, you will not regret it. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.